And a warm welcome to you. It is the first day of 2026. The first day. I'm so pleased it's not the first day of doing a restoration on the boat, but it's the first day of 2026, and I'm going to continue where I left off, which was last night. I'm going to finish this off. So I'm going to take these off, I'm going to sand these flat, get everything ready, and I'm going to start putting these on this stuff. I forgot what it's called. Iron-on edging banding. That's going to be put on there. I want to get that all stained up and done for today, if that's possible. And I want to crack on with getting this fitted on the boat, if that's possible too. I might have to make something in order to support it on one end, because as the ones that know and are dealing with their own projects, especially at this time, I think there's 3 of us actually doing the same thing at the same time, is a question of how do we fit it to the side of the boat, which is the thinnest part of the boat. We don't want to stick 7-inch screws in to support it, do we? Because we'll end up them sticking out the side of the boat. So I have got a couple of theories that I can work with. That originally there was a U-shaped section that was bolted or screwed, or I can't remember, to the side of the hull, and it used to clip into it. So I think that method is a good method, but we might be able to just improve on it that little bit more. I've got to try and see if I can find that piece, and I can't for the life of me remember whether it was on the boat at the time. It must have been. But I did notice on the one that I am not using, wherever that piece is, there are some clips. Shall we go and find it? Shall we go and find it? I don't think it's on the boat. Here it is. Here it is. So this is the other one that's not, well, it is going to be used, and I thought last night where I could use it. I can use it out at the back. You see, mine's got spring-loaded clips. Now obviously something went in there, so whether there was on the side of the boat there was a metal thing that came out with a round stud that would fit into their dowel, and then you would unclip it, which seems a very good idea actually, in all fairness, and that might be a good idea. I just need to find other things that go with it, really. So those are the jobs, the immediate jobs that have got to be done. But first we need to put you on your perch, and then I need to sort this unit out once and for all, and once that is done we can get it on the boat and we can forget about it, and then we can move on to that job. That will be the next job, come what may. I'm not going to get sidetracked. I need to get that done, and then I need to address the those slats as well at the front of the boat, the bow, as my dad rectified that little issue this morning. Thanks, Dad. Yes, I'm going to sort those out, because there's going to be fabric sitting on top of those, and they're a bit, well, I just don't like them as they are. So we might have to either sand them down, make them look good, or remake them. I don't know. But either way, we need to crack on with some work. So stay tuned, get yourself a cup of tea. It is New Year's Day. Sit on that sofa, watch a bit of something, and, well, just click YouTube and have a look at me every so often. Oh, and do one of those as well. That would be nice. Thank you very much. See you shortly. Right, give you an update. The update is there's a lovely rainbow in the sky and a faint one next to it. If there's a pot of gold there, I could just do with that right now, just to finish off this boat. But unfortunately, that's never going to happen, is it? Right. So, the edges are done. I've even done the insides as well. Look at that, because one was a totally different colour to the other. So I've done those. That's turned out okay. I mean, you can tell a slight arc there, but come on. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. They look so much more sturdier now. And they look aesthetically, that's the key. Aesthetically they look good. I've done the top as well, although it seems to have, as I've been ironing it, it's sort of shrunk back a bit, so I might have to just put a little bit of filler in there just to fill it out a bit. As I was ironing it on, I got to about here and then realised it had slid down a bit, so there you go. Keep an eye on your work, lesson learned. But overall, I'm very, very pleased with the way that those cupboards look. They look good. I don't need to do anything with the backs. And on the top looks good. So I think a little bit of filler in there, a little bit of filler in there. I just need to sand that edge there. You can see it's just rolled over a bit there, because it's slightly big. But if you sand it back, you end up with a really good join, as you can see on the top of there and on these sides here, which is crucial to get a sanded edge, because if you don't sand it, as I've found, you only need to brush past it and you'll catch it and you'll pull it off. So you need to make sure that you sand it so you get a nice finish. But I'm very pleased with that. It's looking like a decent bit of furniture, and they're as solid as a rock, those. So there we go, there's a little update for you. I shall carry on. Looks like it's raining now. Oh, and there's also rainwater on the screen. Anyway, I will see you shortly, and well, I'll let you know what I'm up to. Right, top tip of the new year. We always have to have a top tip now and then. Move this out of the way. Get rid of that. I don't know whether you can see that. Sorry, I'm earlier. Maybe if I do that and do that. Yes, that'll do. Right, masking tape. I've had that in my hand and now, oh, it's on the floor. So obviously this is very delicate, so if you do that like that and then that like that, you eliminate having to sand unnecessarily areas that is delicate. So, and this one isn't too bad, this one over here, but nevertheless it's within eyesight. So you've got that one there and you've got that one there. Yep. So all we do is just get a bit of the appropriate filler and then go along the join, because then it doesn't, if you went that way it bubbles up, but if you go along the joint and you get literally a perfect fill. And same applies with that one. There. Just a bit in that corner as well. And then finish off doing that. So, then all you do, take it off while it's wet. And you have a perfect job. I think. There we go. There. Now I can just see a little bit on that side there. So we'll just put a bit in there. Right, we're in business now. So that looks a lot better. And then once it's dried, it will actually sink. So it should go level because you've got the width of the depth of the tape. So it is slightly proud. And if it doesn't sink, doesn't matter. You can just run a bit of sandpaper over the top of it. So that's that. I think I might put a bit in there and a bit in there. But and there as well. So there we go. That's January's little tip. Get you down to the right size. There we go. Right, I'll carry on and I'll let you know when we're on to the next one. Well, actually I'd like to stain that up and then leave it and then crack on with the dining room table. Okay, well, I have coated this from top to bottom. Everywhere is coated. And I think it was the best thing to do because you know what it's like on a boat. If it gets damp and you only do the areas that are shown, then the areas that are not covered, you know, there's a chance that moisture can get in there. So it's better to completely coat it. But, you know, I think overall, I think it looks great now. And those joins there, perfect. The top, nicely coloured. The middle shelf and the bottom shelf. In fact, I can just see it's either drying out or it's better. Yeah, so overall I'm very pleased with the overall effect. It looks nice, it's smooth. I mean, it's wet at the moment, but it's nice and smooth. And you could happily put clothes in there, providing this doesn't bleach through onto the clothes. That's something I'll have to bear in mind. But yes, I'm very pleased. It's taken a long time to do, but I think now that I've got it like it is, I think it's worth it. I think it's turned out better than I thought it would, to be honest. Right, okay, less of the talking. Let's move on to what? The dining room table. That's it. Okay. In fact, I won't be now because, if I'm being honest, Not that it makes any difference to you, because it'll be a nanosecond when it's the next day. It's 5 to 4 on the 1st. I've been here a while. That's taken forever to get it nicely done. These jobs, it's amazing when you're doing a restoration project how long things take to do. I mean, I know I'm slow and long-winded, but it's just got to be done, hasn't it? Anyway, I shall go home, have a cup of tea, because it'll warm me up, and I will see you in the morning. Okay? Have a good evening, because it is New Year's Day. Bye for now. Well, haven't gone home. I thought what I would do is, I thought to quicken things up for tomorrow, I would screw that into place and glue it. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to use screws, because it was wobbly to start with. I'm going to use dowels. And so I decided I would use the dowels. Anyway, I measured everything, like you do, and knocked it into place. And this is what's happened. I've destroyed my table. I just am absolutely gutted. I've gone straight through. Not only have I gone straight through, but it's cracked there. It's just ruined. I've destroyed my table. All that time and effort that's gone into restoring that bubble, I have just undone all that work just to save a bit of time for tomorrow and not planning it properly. Now, as I say, I just can't speak. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's not glued into place, but the idea is good, but it's just ruined. So I'm going to have to think about what I'm going to do. I'm either going to have to completely cover this, which is going to I'm going to lose the blue, which I've sort of got used to now, or I put a fillet of oak or something across there just on one edge, which I don't know. I don't know whether that's going to be suitable or not in oak. Or I put 2 chrome caps over that area and there, and make, but you know, I can't deny you've got things going on around there. I don't know whether that's going to be suitable. Or I sack this table off, or I cover it, go with oak. I didn't really want to do that. Or I go with the other table. Oh God, I don't believe what I've done. That's ruined everything. Now, that is a recover, I'm sure, because I can see a lamination underneath there. I don't know whether that's salvageable or not. God. Right, I'm going to have to sleep on that. I'll have to take a deep breath, assess the situation. I think I'll take some pictures of it and stare at it tonight. Oh God, I don't believe what I've just done. These are the things that happen. I mean, I am due for a cock-up. I am due for a cock-up. And it seems to be that this is it. So I've now got to make good what I've done. And I will think about it tonight. Anyway, I thought I'd show it you because this is what this channel's all about. You screw up, it's got to be on. It's got to be seen. So, anyway, you have a good evening. I don't think I'm going to have a good evening, but I will come up with a solution. I will, because I've come up with many solutions before now. When something's gone, something unfortunate has happened, so this is no exception. I'll come up with something. So, see you tomorrow and wish me luck. And we're back to see. I thought it was a bad dream, but it's not. It's reality. It's still here. There we go. 2 holes in the top. So, as I discussed with you yesterday evening, after that catastrophic error, with multiple options, and we've got to have a positive attitude. We've got to fix it, we've got to solve the problem, and we've got to get on with it. And that's the attitude I am taking. So I pulled out this one, and I'm going to try and take off that oak ply from there, and we'll see what the condition, if I am assuming that that is underneath here, because I'm pretty convinced that it is. So that is the first task. I'm going to have a look to see what that is like underneath. So that's my first job. I'm going to put you on your perch. There we go. And you'll be back when I've taken that top off. Let's move you up a bit further, like so. There we go. Right, stay tuned. Get yourself a, well, I'm going to say get yourself a stiff whiskey and have that on me. I could do with one right now. Okay, with a bit of effort, that's what we are dealing with there. See, I don't know whether that's a permanent stain or whether that's something I can buff out. I mean, this obviously is, I mean, that's in pretty good condition. I think, looking at this glue, could be no nails, something of that nature. I think that might be able to, I might be able to heat that up and soften it off and scrape it off. I think I might get some I might first just see if I can get that out. I think that's going to be the first task. If I can get that out, then it's worth tackling all that. If that doesn't come out, then we go on to plan B. And plan B will be putting something over those 2 holes, I think. So that's the next task, and I have some G3 compound here, so for vehicles, so I will tackle that and we'll see if we can get that out. So stay tuned, be back in a minute. Right, with my machine polisher I think I could probably get out, there's some very faint yellowness there, But what I've done is I've quickly cleaned that triangle in relation to the rest, and I think even with the scratches I think I can buff that out. There's a little tiny divot there, like a fork stab mark or something like that, but oh god, there's a chip there as well, and a chip there. Didn't notice those. Dear me. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'll see how easy it is to get this off here. I think I'll try and soften these off, and I'll assess it again. I'm not going to be too hasty, and I'm not going to condemn it just yet. I shall get the heat gun on it and see what happens, so stay tuned. Well, I think the glue is having sympathy for me. This gun seems to work, so no matter what glue it is, if it's on a shiny Formica, it seems to peel off. So I thought I'd just show you if anybody else has got a problem. Just need to get it started. Get a new blade. There we go. The wonders of heat. So I'll put you back on your perch, and well, we'll discuss it when it's done. I'll tell you what, I'm hot now. God blimey. Right, after several, well, an hour and a half it's taken me to get it to this stage. I have found some flaws in it, but it's whether you think that whether I think. So there you are. It's either that one or that one. Now, there are imperfections in this one. We've got a chip there, there, there. There's a little chip over there, and there's also some scratches. Can you see them? There, there. From a distance, I don't know whether you can see them, but you can see. Anyway, I think probably with the G3 and my machine polisher, which is at home, I may be able to improve on the overall condition of that. But as you, I mean, the main thing is it hasn't got two whacking great big holes in it there, and it's flat. There's no bubbles in this one, no bubbles in it at all, so that won't go to waste. That could be used outside, so it's a case of restoring the sides. These somebody's put these on, which I might take off and either have a look at the condition underneath them, because there's a load of, I don't know what that is, so I might take those off because they're the wrong colour anyway, there and there. I can just about make out, if you can, the laminate there. I've just noticed that, so maybe we may be able to salvage those as well, like that there. So the smile is back, and I think I know which ones you'll prefer. You'll prefer the one that I've just done, I would say. I'm edging towards that one because I think it's possible for me to improve on the condition of the top. I can't do anything with those unless I can use a bit of China blue, MG China blue, and just dip it in, or just leave it, because it is what it is. It's patina. We can soon sand the back and restore that. That's not a problem. Right, okay, well, I'm going to take this coat off because I'm boiling now. And I will sand these down. And we'll get cracking with this. So, if anything, we've probably I've delayed myself by about a day. I thought it would be a lot longer than this, to be honest, but I think we've salvaged it. We'll take these off, like I say, and if it's really bad under there, well, I'll just make one of those to go across there, because actually aesthetically they don't look too bad. So that's what I'm going to do, guys. So I'll crack on and I'll see you shortly. Right, my friends, I think I'm going to call it a day. I have recuperated and salvaged the table. So this is the alternative. That's all sanded and ready. Well, it's sanded and it's been covered in Danish oil. I think I can lift it up. As you can see, all the edges are done. That's the only thing that really needs doing, is it needs buffing. As you can see, there's a hole there, which I think actually, yeah, that hole is they've obviously drilled and gone too far with it. So yeah, so there's that, and those two pinpricks there. So there we go. I think we managed to salvage it, sort of, and I think that's a better one than that one at the moment. So we will carry on tomorrow, and hopefully we can get back to where we should have been before I cocked up. So I did the damage last night, and about the same time now I've managed to sort it. So within 24 hours we've managed to use a plan B, which actually seems to be very good. So I'm going to leave on a high tonight, and I will see you back in the morning. So until then, bye for now. Good morning. It is Saturday the 3rd of January and it is absolutely Baltic in here. Freezing today. Beautiful mind, but absolutely freezing. And you know what? I don't think I've got any sand in today. That's the only thing that keeps me warm. So, we left last night. Exhibit A. Or in this case, that's A. This is Exhibit B. That is now complete. I'll just put that there on top of that nice unit. Flick it over. Very nice. So, we've got another fresh table. The only thing that I didn't show you, and I need to stick on, is this side of the what do they call it? I've forgotten it. What they call this now? Formica. That's what it's called. Formica. If I just peel that back, can you see? Obviously, there is no Formica, but there is somewhere. Where did I put it? I put it safe up here. There we are. That, it's got a slight little fracture in it there. But that, I think, we can stick back on there, like so. But I haven't got any contact adhesive, and I know John definitely has. So I need to relieve him of some of that glue in order to stick that back. But today, I think what am I thinking? Yes, I know what I'm thinking. Today we need to fix, attempt to fix that there onto the back of this one without going through this, and we're going to see if we can get this sort of half fitted up on the boat, because I think I'm going to order some clips which I will show you shortly, that might be just useful. I have, in fact, I've got one of them somewhere. Somewhere on here I've got one. Amongst my mess. Where are you, Mr. Springy Out clip? Oh, is it? No, that's not it. Is that it? No, that's not it. That's not it. I can hear some of you saying, God, tie that mess up. Yes, I know. I don't know where I put it. I put it safe. It's so safe I can't spot it. I'll find it during this this morning's escapades. I bet you I've put it somewhere over here, ready to show you, but I can't see it. Anyway, I'm going to stick you on your perch because I'm going to get my ducks in a row and get ready for today's work schedule, I think. So stay tuned, get yourself a cup of tea, because it's cold, or a coffee for that matter, and, well, stay tuned. And a warm welcome back. Right, I've made some progress. This is all glued and it's still wet at this moment in time, but as you can see, I have successfully put this back into place. I've also put a reinforcement piece at the back of there The wood is similar date with the boat, so it's a 70s piece of wood. Once it's stained up, it'll look absolutely fine, but that's looking good now. And I've just refurbished. I decided to stick with the original brass, I forgot what they call them now, hinges and screws. So they have been renovated, and that is now well and truly sorted. What I did is I doweled here and here. Obviously didn't go all the way through, even though there is a minute hole in this side, but you know, it's better than two huge holes over there. So that is all nicely glued. We've got to wait for that to set now, so that's what we'll do. But I think that will be ready to go on the boat probably tomorrow, I would say. Can't get it on today. Oh, found the hinge, found these two mechanisms. Now I really like these, and the idea of this is we could use those to, if I find a piece of aluminium tubing to just slightly bigger than that, I can insert that into the ply and use that. If I can't do it with one hand, but I'll show you what this is about. If I just reduce that to there, like so. Basically what happens with this is if you press that, that shoots out and you can clip it out. So when you're putting your table in place, you can have those out like so, and that would just slot into place. Bearing in mind that you've got a little, you've got your little brass dowel here that stops it from coming forward. Whether that's going to be enough or not, I don't know. But do you know what? I could actually put one of those on there, which aesthetically would look pretty good actually. So I could use three. I could use one there, one over there, and one over there. So it means I'm ordering another two. So I might try that method, because I think that that actually would be well, it would be very good. You can unclick it and click it out. So there we go. So I think we're all sorted, and it'll cover these holes. I mean, there was obviously something that the old ones I think are around here somewhere. I think there was similar sort of idea, as you can see. They're on a spring. So obviously something went through there. So whether there was something that just clipped into that and you could do that with it, and then you could, you know, take it off. Maybe that's what happened. But I think if I found something to just go over that, I think that might just work. Right, so that is the next task, getting that up onto the boat and getting those up onto the boat, and we'll have a look at what they look like. So that is the next task. So I'll just get those on the boat, and then I will take you aboard and we'll have a little look. So see you in a minute. Right, welcome aboard. So I've got the two, well, I've got everything in place over there now, as you can see. There is a minor adjustment needed, because I would like this one here is flush with the floor area there. This one is still protruding because originally this was over here, so it fitted. This is a brand new one, of course. So I need to trim that down just a tad, and I can see where I can do it. As you can see, there's a gap there, and it's filled there. So if I take a line along there, that gap there is roughly the same, give or take, of that gap there, which is exactly right. I mean, it might be a fraction over, which means I could just move this with it, because ultimately there's going to be a face plate of something going along there anyway. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. We're getting close to wrapping it up and finishing with this part of the project. It's been long-winded, but I think overall it's looking pretty good. So bear with me, I've got my jigsaw over there and I shall cut it out at the back of the boat. Right, there we go. So you can see just about, it's about 2 or 3 mil just over the face, which is about right, because I think I'll probably put some ply there which will probably flush it. But once these have all been attached together like so, then we're good to go. Obviously there will be a fillet going in there and along there to just cover that gap, but I'm very pleased with the overall effect. Maybe we could put a bit of a light thing going on down there, maybe that might work. Oh, and also make sure if you do anything like this to put tape there, because if you're cutting across the grain then you may end up with spelches all the way along, so the tape just helps that. So I'm very pleased with that. I think the overall effect is good. It gets tucked in there. Yeah, very pleased with that. So what is next, I say to myself? Now there's a good question. What is next? Can't do the table yet. Oh yes, I know what's next. It's these things, I think. Those. And also I'm going to cover with my I'm going to cover these areas here in that very dense underlay that I've got for laminate flooring, so when these get sat back on it, you know, there's no rattles and it fits on a soft surface. So that's going to be the next project, I think. In fact I might do that now actually, cover this area. Yeah, I think I will. Right, found myself another little job. I shall do that, I think, next. That looks really good. I'm very chuffed with that. See, those shelves, they don't look wonky at all, really, do they? They look right, and they look still, well, they are sturdy, of course they are. But I think it was worth me covering that side and that side there. I think it made all the difference, and there's only you and I know that that's there and that there. So yeah, I think that's all. I think it's coming together. I think once that's sandwiched, I think it was the right choice to make it, that. I think it looks quite quirky, and it's in keeping with this one, and it's in keeping with that one. I think it looks great. And if I think it looks great, it suits me because it's my boat. So there we go. Right, I'm going to go and get the underlay from down below, and I will see you shortly. Right, hopefully it's going to work out economical. I'll use these airing boards as a sort of rough template. Right, that's just about right, that. I think we're about right with that. You wouldn't believe how heavy this stuff is. God. Down there. Right, I'll see you back aboard then, shall I? Right, as you can see, I've done that side. I haven't jointed that yet, but I thought I'd do one on film anyway, seeing as everything else is on film. So I always use a factory edge on any straight edge. I mean, we're talking flooring here, which is what my trade was, so you know, I thought it might be a good idea just to show you how easy, once you've got it lined up how you want it to fit. I know it's only underlay, but nevertheless the principle is the same when you're dealing with a soft flooring. So that's roughly where I need it to be. I've overlapped it quite a lot because there's a gap there, there was a gap over there, so I can trim accordingly. I might go on an angle like that, so then it's nice and neat. And I think possibly that they will stay loose because we obviously need to, that they're heavy enough to stay put, and obviously you need to gain access to there, as where I'm sat, and obviously the water which is there. So I shall just scribe that in. Just get yourself a blunt screwdriver, and then you push the material that you're going to cut. You can't scribe like that immediately, because what will happen is it'll pull it away from there. So what you do is you just push the material without going through it. You just push the material down into a rough position like so, and then you can scribe around to get a faint line of where you're going, like so. As you can see, now it wants to fall where you want it to fall, and you check the edge that you don't want to move, which it hasn't. And then with any knife cutting, it's all about the angles. So if you cut down like that, then it can be too full. If you cut like that, you can be too short. So it's like you've got to remember that's a 90-degree angle. Choose halfway house, and if you do that, you'll end up with a nice cut. So halfway house where I've just gone, like so. Continue cutting. Pull it away to finish off your tab, like so. And then you have a nice neat cut. Now I was going to cut that off like that, but I'm going to do what I've done over here, and that is I've folded it over, and I think that's probably a very good choice, because it's a cushion against this, and when the boat's on the move, I mean, everything's going to be creaking and what have you. So I think something soft there is just going to help with that. So all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to tuck it down like so, and then pop the board. Like so. And then we've got a neat edge. And all we've got to do is finally do that. So I'll just go and find myself a straight edge. It's not too big. That should do it. Establish where the short, you can see there where it's short there. So if I cut it there on an angle like so, should have a nice neat finish like so. I mean, normally you'd tape that, but as I say, this is going to be regularly moved, so I think we'll do, just for neatness, I think we'll do the same angle here. like so. I think that'll be all right. Yeah, plenty. Which is the straight edge there? Oh, it's that one. Yeah, I've got it right. Okay. Well, although that was a very easy job to do, aesthetically it's made a big difference, hasn't it? So that's a good sound deadener, and it's well insulated because it's got a foil top to it. So when we put the air things back on, they won't be on a hard surface. So there we are, marvellous, all sorted. Right, what shall I do now? I think what I might do, because it's Saturday, I might call it a day, because really I'd like to get that tomorrow. I'd like to get that table in a rough position and decide how we're going to tackle attaching it to the wall there, because as we've discussed, especially Gordon, and I think even Ian, I think he's even doing it as well, there isn't much of a gap between the ply and the side of the hull itself, so you can't go boring holes in it because you're going to end up going through the side. So I will come up with something, I'm sure. Maybe I might have to come up with something that starts off the floor, because the downward pressure needs to be on the floor really, so you could have a section of wood coming up and then flaring out to the right and to the left with a square, a bit like that leg itself. Imagine that being stuck to the side of the boat. The downward pressure would support the table with no issues and no problems. So maybe that might be an idea. But we can't do anything really, and I don't want to touch the table until it's fully set. So, with that said, thank you very much for watching. I hope it's not been too boring. I mean, there has been a bit of a drama, but I managed to fix it, which is good. So I will see you in the next one, which is, I'm going to probably start it tomorrow. So there we go. So until then, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.